Yes.
Bro, what? I had to get rid of him.
He was being toxic.
Every time he does this every day, man.
Why are you unbanning him?
I don't know, bro. Man.
Go. One more to go.
Welcome, everybody, to the Onward VR Master League Season 12, Week 13 Venue Showcase. My name is Nightfire with 2 E's, and today we're tuning in to a exciting matchup alongside my co-caster, the Sky Joker. Sky, how are you feeling today?
I am doing a fan-flippin'-tastic here, Nightfire, ready for some more extra Onward action here. I missed out on last week's matchup, but today I am back and ready to cast.
Yep, we've had some really good showcases the last few weekends, it feels like. Yesterday night's matchup was fantastic to tune into. A lot of exciting back and forth there. I anticipate the same thing here tonight. It is VRAC versus Astra, 2 teams at the top of the VRML regular season ladder. And if you're just tuning in and you don't necessarily know what you're tuning in for, this is the game of Onward. It is a 5 versus 5 military simulator. The attacking team, Marsoc, attacks the objective. The defending team, Volk, defends the objective. If the attacking team gets within a certain radius of the objective and enters in a 7-digit code, they get themselves 2 points. Otherwise, you are trying to eliminate the opposing team to secure yourself 1 point. It is a best of 7 on each map, and as you can see below me, there's a little bit of a display to be looked at. We play 3 maps total in a series, so 3 best of 7s here this afternoon. Each team has a ban. The home team gets to ban the first map, the away team gets to ban the second map. The maps are a select map pool. It consists of a select map pool that is predetermined at the start of the season. And we always like to look at the nitty-gritty of the bans and what they really mean statistically wise and what they mean for these teams at a competitive level, because there is a lot of nuance in the ban strategy of some of these teams. And so let's get into the pick bans for today. Coming in from Vrac, we have Cargo, and Astra, we have Downfall. Sky, what are your thoughts on these?
So, taking a look at the stats for both of these teams, VRAC banning Cargo, definitely a ban of strength against Astra. Astra having some pretty good strats, or at least good stats on Cargo.
Yeah.
Astra banning Downfall is the same thing, vice versa. VRAC having some good strats on there, or stats on there, and then Astra coming in with some pretty low scores. So definitely both teams trying to get rid of a powerhouse for the other team.
Yeah, sometimes these teams ban maps because they are not efficient on a certain map and they don't want it to be picked against them. But in this case, we call these bans of strength. And so interesting choices coming in. Map 1 kicks us off on Abandoned. And it seems to me that Vrac are sort of trying to set they're very much going for the ranged opportunities here in this series, getting rid of that close quarters Cargo, Downfall being banned against them. It just maybe an indicator that they prefer to be in that long range, and maybe an indicator that Astra will take us to some close quarters action. I mean, what are the stats there in terms of what their maps prefer? What is this abandoned pick from Vrac about?
So, looking at this, neither team have crazy stats on it. I think, let's see, VRAC only have 2 plays on it, Astra only having 1. So it's definitely not a skewed score line for that.
Yeah.
But I'm definitely more akin to go with what you were saying. VRAC definitely are probably wanting the range from it, and without Downfall, well, the next one to go to is Abandoned. And then your thoughts on Astra for the close quarters. Cargo and Subway are the 2 highest maps on Astra's stat line, so we could be seeing a Subway here.
Could be an exciting couple of maps here for this series. Will be, actually, Sky, because as we get into the later weeks of the season, you really do get great matchups where these teams are so evenly matched that you just don't know what's going to happen, and that's the true excitement of tuning in to a match. A VR Master League match is the, you know, you're gonna get in for some good quality back and forth, and I'm very much excited to see what the French and the EU squad come together with here today. Both Vrac and Astra going to be duking it out. Is this their first time against each other? I know you can look at all of the wide variety of stats that we track in VRML, but it could also, I'm not sure if it's their first time in a match together. Yeah, it does look like they haven't played each other in the past, so a bit of the unknown as well, and that's always exciting, right, Sky? Especially, you know, to that extent, though, these teams play scrimmages. I'm sure they played against each other. You know, I imagine that there's a certain amount of knowledge coming into this first map.
Yeah, especially on the EU sides of things, they tend to scrim with each other quite a bit since there are less of them. So definitely some experience from both of their sides.
While we wait for both teams to ready up and get into our first round of the action, let's take a look at the active rosters for today. Over on Vrac, we have Oliver Free, Emperor, Hardzy, Le Charbonnier, and Captain Flamme. And over on Astra, we have Leo, Cody Logan, Special Ops, Tea Party, and Mr. Dutch Kebab. And if I butchered any of those French names, I do apologize. I try my best, okay? I can pronounce Le Goulet Refractaire and the Vancours. I'm learning. I guess I'm learning French as we go. Because there certainly is a powerful French community on the EU side of VRML. Anywho, both teams are finally ready to go, and let's hop in to round number 1, Sky, of map 1 on Abandoned.
Yeah, I know.
Let me do my shit.
Alright, so we have the center objective here, North Marsoc spawn. Again, those that don't know, the Marsoc have multiple possible spawns that they could get. And especially with an objective like this, it's imperative that the defense identify which spawn that is so they can adjust their defense accordingly.
Onboard special ops, they are on fire from a Molotov.
Oh no.
But I don't think they wanted to set off. I think they're trying to set it up, but wow, special ops fortunate enough that they didn't die from that. That could have been a tough a tough way to kick off your first round on the venue showcase.
Only fools would light themselves on fire with a Molotov. Oh, wait a minute.
Yeah, that is something you do not want to have happen. Leo, after hearing those shots, starting to get some eyes over onto this side of the map, an indicator that it is a spawn in the north. I don't really know if they knew it was a north spawn until those shots came out.
Yeah, they had Tea Party up there looking around in that direction, but I'm not sure if he had identified any movement yet.
Hardzy dishes out a smoke, able to get out of Tea Party's line of sight. On the other side of things, Oliver's still looking to work their way up that side lane, and Leo just holding that late angle. Gonna force Oliver to be exposed out in the open, and that's when they take the shots.
Jeez, the -1, killer 1.
Back over to Hardzy, working up across Tea Party's line of sight, getting pretty close to the objective. It's not that hard, really, to work your way up to just be on the outside wall of the OBJ, just like Hardzy has done. The trouble is, of course, now staying there as Leo has a line from that window down onto this side, and wonder if they'll be ready for Hardzy to be here in the front.
Definitely a slow push out from the Marsoc side. Gonna set the pace for future rounds here on this map.
Absolutely. Oh, and Leo's head just barely survives the spray of bullets. Oh, no!
Oh! Man, what a great flashbang and a great pre-fire around the corner. Unfortunate that it was his own teammate, though.
Yeah, really unfortunate. Emperor's going to continue to be aggressive on their rollout there and push up right up against the wall, get some utility. Another flash inside objective building. I don't think they have time to push off that flash, though, if it blinded anybody, though. And so maybe just a bit of a distraction while they try and wonder what their plan of approach is going to be. They just got rid of one of their own, and they seem to be a bit on their own as Charbonnaire still a bit behind. Look at how well they blend into that corner, Sky.
They're just in that shadow, or at least they were. A good little peek, and Leo not quite looking in that direction, more so focused on the objective approach. Not wanting to peek out and expose himself. Then you've got Captain way in the back, holding up the rear, looking for any long-range picks, but not gonna find any.
Now that up the center position given away as Tea Party takes some shots and
yeah, he's pretty close north.
gets tagged once, so if they get hit again, they'll go down. Being up in this two-story position is risky, you know, especially in that you can be spotted from several different positions. The call-out comes in that Charbonnaire is there, but I don't think they know that there's two. As Emperor tries to find those shots on the aggressor from Special Ops, they do not connect. They are able to tuck back in behind the generator. Leo is looking for the shots, and they do find them as they try and go up the stairs. Tea Party working in on a flank now, maybe able to find Captain. They do in a trade, and it's down just to Charbonnaire and Leo, who are battling it out on the street.
And the back and forth from both sides of the objective. He'll just barely ducking under those bullets until he comes out, and he finds the shot, giving Astra the first point of the series on map number 1.
Certainly hard fought. And yeah, I think a good indicator of what we should expect on a map like this. Truly an indicator, I think, if you really want to start throwing out some guesses of what we're going to see playstyle-wise from VRAC today. Methodical in that they will utilize that full time of the round to push up. They'll want to get into long-range maps to utilize that full time. And it's going to come down to now to see what Astra's offensive style looks like. Because I'm sure VRAC are going to be playing I would expect a disciplined defense, not necessarily looking for early picks or trying to identify anybody too early. Instead, sort of waiting for the offense to come into their kill box, because on maps like Abandon, you certainly can do that. You do not need to look for the early picks. And that is our first round in the books. We do appreciate everybody tuning in here this afternoon. Whether you're on Twitch, Facebook, YouTube, or Horizon venues, we do appreciate you dropping by. If you don't know, we are live on all the platforms. I would encourage you to go watch on all the platforms. We want to continue to see growth in all the channels and encourage more folks to join the league. And I know a lot of people drop into venues and don't even know what Onward is, and so I really do appreciate folks that do come by to check out what is the VR esports action that we're delivering here today. And it's one of my favorite shooters, and one of probably the oldest VR shooter. Been around in existence for the longest amount of time, and it is by and large my favorite. So go pick it up if you haven't already, is the suggestion I'm giving to you. You can easily download it on the Quest or Quest 2 or PC. It's everywhere. You can get it on whatever you got and start playing yourself some Onward with your friends on all the devices. They're all cross-play. It's the easy recommendation. Also, it's on sale pretty often, so if you do want to wait for a sale to come up, I'm sure it will go on sale. You can see when it's going on sale by following VRML on social media, as I think we have retweeted every single time Onward has gone on sale. And so you'll find the information there, and then also see when the next Onward game is coming at you. Right now, round 2 is coming at you.
Nice code, guys.
Weird spawn from Marsoc this time. Another northern approach, going to be towards this objective. Let's see how VRAC opt to place their defense in order to counter this. It's looking very similar to what Astra did.
Yep, pretty on brand, or what we would consider to be meta on the defensive layout here. One up in the 3-story, one over in the 2. The rest of the squad up the middle, but I am only seeing... they have Emperor.
One is way in the south.
Yeah, that's a position I have seen taken, I think, just the other day. I can't remember who set up there, but it did pay off very well when the team tried to rotate around to the south side. Some plays will involve pushing into the north and going all the way to the south, and then pushing in from the north and the south. Seems like Tea Party was trying to swing over onto that potential south side, but they get cut apart by Les Chabanet and the two-story there.
Crack top floor.
Oh, that's a good name.
Coming out. Oh, perfect confirm. He's like, don't worry.
Yep. Leo and his teammate accepting the fate.
Yep.
But a great nade toss. And you may be wondering, why was that nade thrown? Well, in the game of Onward, you can get shot and you can get downed. You can get shot and you can get killed. In that case, they were shot and downed. A teammate could have gone to their corpse and stuck it with a little bit of adrenaline, a syringe, and they would have shot back up and been able to continue playing. But what Chabanet did there was confirm the kill. Threw a nade over onto the downed corpse, and guaranteed no res is going to come
There's
in.
one I think pretty sure the middle one.
Really savvy play there that doesn't make that play go to waste. Meanwhile, rest of Astro is working their way up, Sky, already up into this midfield here.
Yeah, Dutch Kebab kept peeking around that container. I'm just wondering if Captain's gonna look downward enough to catch this. Dutch is out in the open.
Yeah, but Cap just doesn't have that line of sight. You know, they're not looking far enough.
Windows.
Yep, they're not looking out that window far enough. The utilities come in through those windows, and Dutch Kebab is right here, preparing to enter into the objective, and has just heard shots now from Captain, confirming that there's someone behind them. You can see on the overhead the rotation from that south position now coming back to objective, as it seems like the play is on for Astra here. Dutch Kebab is pushing inside objective building and is underground.
Oh.
One.
He catches one on objective. Oliver making a rotation to come take care of that, and he does. Shuts down the push, but Spec Ops coming in from the window.
What is that?
Oh, just a
Make his
touch
own approach.
off on the timing there. Special Ops had come in maybe 2 seconds earlier. They could have had Oliver. There could be 2 on objective. They could be punching in the code, but big plays from Oliver to find that kill and stay alive here as a threat. It's preventing Astra from charging into the objective and really having free reign.
Honestly, if Spec Ops just crouched on the boxes outside, oh, but Oliver peeks. If Oliver wouldn't peek and he pops up on those
Don't go
boxes,
sit
he
on.
could cap if
Don't
he's
go
quick
sit on.
enough.
Ooh, and now Emperor is trying to hit Special Ops from a flank here, working their way in on the back there. Spec Ops almost found
one
the
is,
kill. A
one is
lot of
red
different
story,
angles that
red
Spec
story,
Ops
and
has to
red
worry
story
about.
second
In addition, Charbonnaire there.
Currently surrounded by Cody and Leo. Hearing all of these call-outs, all these footsteps, but still focusing on the objective. The right thing to do here.
Oh, sees Special Ops rotating, but doesn't take the shots.
Four comes out, doesn't catch anybody. There's a minute 30 left on the clock.
There it is.
Finally, Cody finds the kill on apartment, now into the 3v3. Trade just outside of objective. 2v2. Cody watching over Leo's shoulder. Actually, Leo's going to rotate to the other side. It looks like they're going to go for a pinch.
Quite the chaotic second round here on our first map of the day, as Astra are getting danger close to the objective.
Ooh.
There's a good shutdown from Oliver, but just like that, turns it back to a 1v1. Time is an element here, as there's only 50 seconds left to work with. Oliver is going to drop back and get this res, a risky play to make, but felt confident in doing it as Cody had to rotate because they are limited on time. 39 seconds left. They don't really have options to rotate or dip around too far, and they've just checked the clock now. They were planning on a far swing, but they have to go at objective. No other options.
Looks like he is also going to try for the stairs approach. Oliver still on the other side of the column. Oh, but he makes too much noise and then pulls out the tablet, cueing in Oliver to peek and shut it down. 15 seconds left in that round. VRAC take their first point on map number 1. Wow.
Yeah, an interesting approach there, and a similar, long, extended round there, as we use all of that round time. Although I will say Astra certainly tried to make the entry pretty early. I think right around the 3-minute mark, they had one attacking inside objective. So, I think Astra is going to be trying to get to these objectives about at the halfway mark. And I like that strategy a little bit more in some cases, because it does allow you to then adjust if your play doesn't work, right? You still have 2.5 minutes to try and reset and come up with a new plan of approach to salvage what maybe was a bad attempt. And so you don't really get that option if you fail on your push with 30 seconds left. And, well, a solid job either way from VRAC to defend what was a bit of aggression and then a bit of a reset from Astra as they tried a bit of both, that early attack and the late. Just couldn't get through that inside objective defense.
Yeah, the stage up looked really good. They had the numbers, they had the positions. I think they were just slightly out of tune with one person pushing into the objective alone and then another one just running around the objective all alone. I think if they just had a bit more supporting lines, that would have been a much more effective attack.
As you may or may not know, after 2 rounds, we change objective placements. There is a variety of potential objective placements on every map. Some maps have upwards of 16 potential objective placements. 14. And so when you play a game of Onward, you never know what objective you will get or where. But we have changed placements now as we are down into the ravine, I consider to be a tough-to-defend objective. At least one of the few here on Abandoned.
Danger close to the 3-story building with 2 Marsoc players in it. Yeah, this is a very rough objective because you have to get out of that ravine to defense positions, and you could end up doing what T is doing here and running straight into the enemy. He knows they have to rotate out of this building at some point, so he could potentially stay where he's at and not choose to assault them. However, there is another door on the 2nd floor they could go out.
Yeah, if you miss the opportunity, then the team is going to be attacking the objective, and so it is a question mark that Tea Party is, I'm sure, debating in their head. We'll have to see what this push looks like. It seems to be that they're going to try and get to that stairwell undetected. You have to move very slowly. You cannot afford a single misstep in your movement or momentum. And even then, Emperor's on the 2nd floor, Flemme is on the 3rd. And so it's still going to come down to a fight for both kills here. It's not going to be an easy 1-2. And on top of this, this generator is putting out a good bit of audio distraction. And so I think even if Party has a bit of a misstep, I don't think Emperor is going to hear it. They could actually knife Emperor.
That's a very loud generator.
Oh, they're not going to check that room.
He's going to miss.
There's one.
Oh. He knows there's another. Thought they were both on the 3rd floor, and Emperor hit them from the back. He unable to react quick enough. And a 1-for-1 trade brings us into a 4v4. During all of that, Hardzy has made his way nearly all the way to the south, gonna end up running into Leo more than likely.
Yeah, a long rotation that takes some time to put out here. You have to clear a lot of different angles to work your way up through that south tunnel. And Hardzy has been methodical about doing that, and they have actually caught Leo rotating. That's what being patient gets you. Yeah.
Absolutely necessary. Now Special Ops has to worry about 2 different directions here. The 3-story, who's currently looking for him, and his side approach, Hardzy.
Dutch Kebab has a line down here. Those shots connect.
Ooh.
A great bit of shooting from distance to find another kill and even this thing up 3-3. It's going to mean that the majority, or, well, the full force of the attack is going to be coming in from this north side. There's not going to be any south pinch. And I feel like actually this north push may be potentially the easiest way to push in. Because once you get into the objective space, it's just trouble. And Special Ops is very far away from the objective.
Honestly, there's a line for Char to sneak up here. If he gets past Kebab, There's a cap line. If they get all the way up to that fence with special ops not peeking out, with under 2 minutes on the clock, if they want to crouch all the way there, they're going to have to do it now.
Time becoming an element here. And they are working their way up. And yeah, you're absolutely right. There is a route for Charbonnaire to get this cap here. It's just a matter of following through with it. As Oliver and Emperor are also there and able to distract. Certainly could use a little bit of extra help to draw attention. I almost feel like those smokes may hurt. I don't know if that's going to help because I think Special Ops may rotate down off of having smokes around objective. Kebab may look into the smokes.
They originally had Emperor up there watching.
Yeah, look at this.
Special Ops, but he's not up there anymore. Now Spec Ops is peeking.
A trade. Spec Ops goes down on the hill. We're into a 1v1. Objective is smoked. Kebab knows where they are, and Charbonnaire has to battle them on this silo. It's a matter of how they approach it. No more cap route. That's for sure.
No, Kebab has it locked down. But Char still has it on his mind. Oh, and Kebab came off of it, but he might see the toes and hear the breathing.
Oh, Char trying to go for the cap in the corner.
Again, making a little too much noise running around that corner, but I think he would have seen it anyways. Astra
2 seconds left,
taking
too.
Their second point. Oh, yeah. That would have been rough.
Would have been a mega fast cap, but it doesn't come in time. And, well, now you really get the full picture of a game of Onward. You've seen a few rounds. You've seen players go for that cap. You have to get within that certain radius of the objective, and it is pretty close. And you then have to pull your tablet out, which renders you unable to shoot, and you have to physically punch in a 7-digit code on the tablet. And so that alone takes a lot of practice, and some players excel at capping in under 4 or 5 seconds. Some players take 30 seconds to enter in the code. It really can vary, but yeah, it's not something that we well, not something that a lot of people practice. And I know some people do go into training ground lobbies to practice their capping skills so that they can improve on their speed, because at the end of the day, it is really one of the most important skill sets to be effective at in the game of Onward, because it is what gets you 2 points at the end of the day. Sure, being a good shot, obviously, some would consider a little bit more important, but, players that practice the cap, they certainly do get the opportunities, and I've seen Series 1 off of 3-second, 4-second caps.
Listen, we love all of our Onward players equally, whether you're mono and can't cap or anybody else and can. Love you all.
Essaye.
The dated reference now, man. I don't think anybody knows who that is.
Black cheese, les gars. Black cheese, toujours.
Oh, geez.
Ardif, monte en blocos 3.
You gotta come up with something new, man. You gotta come up with a new one. You gotta come up with a new person to reference for it. There's plenty.
Great flashbang.
Taller than me. No, that's not true.
Oh, wow. Captain just
It's kind of
barely snuck around that corner, probably blind.
Oh, I'm using AP, by the way.
And he's going to come around. T was ready for that. An impressive just wait and see. Going to take down the most aggressive defensive position that VRAC had. And something to note, T was the one who made that defensive push in our previous round. So he was defending his own advance.
Yeah, I forgot my night vision.
Oh, it's interesting there. Dutch wanted to be able to toggle on night vision to look into those dark windows a little bit clearer, but they did not equip it.
Wait, can I? Oh, I
And this is such a risky sand push to be making because they have Hernsey there, who can simply just peek up and over and look down into those. Oh, there it is. Yeah, they peek up and over, and there's the good shots from Dutch Kebab. Saves the duo down there. And Dutch is going to get rezzed up. Special Ops and Kebab, all good. It looks like they actually both took damage.
Can I have one mag? Like one.
And they have to drop back. Wonder what the plan of approach will be, as the other duo is investing their efforts in working up through the east side.
No. Revive T, he's bleed down.
Wait, how did T? When did T go down?
T went down from hard Z shots in the
Oh,
bunker
right. That wasn't a full
where they
kill.
just traded. Nope.
What the fuck?
I'm not sure what fall damage Special Ops took there, but they
Just
did.
go
and-
wide east.
I think it was the fire barrel. It must have run past it or something.
Another trade
Oh.
over on OBJ, as a little bit of a disconnect on the team pushing there without anybody else really anywhere close to support. Maybe just trying to be the hero and secure the round, but it is a net positive for Vrak, as Oliver can get res.
On two, mec.
There's the res.
Okay.
Looks like Special Ops is going to continue to check here, and Tea Party does catch Charbonnaire trying to get back into position. Rack on the backside goes down, and it's all up to Oliver on OBJ. Wow, and they still haven't seen Special Ops. I wonder if Astra is going to consider a cap, as you do see Tea Party get pretty close to the objective. 3 still alive, and I imagine that Astra, well, maybe not, but if they have an accurate kill count, it could be an opportunity for them to cap. Still, though, Oliver is defending, and it's just a down Special Ops. The rest of Astra is nowhere near, and it's just, again, a disconnect from this team. I don't know. Yeah, Cody asking the same questions I am, and so an odd bit of decision-making there, as nobody else was there to support, but still a good shutdown from Oliver to make it a 1v2.
Oliver using the AK-12 in single shot, I might comment. Just ripping through people.
There should be a
One
sniper
bullet
on
at a
the
time.
bunker.
90 seconds left on the clock. Final 2 of Astra. Very far off, as you said. Disconnected from the rest of the push. They're going to be forced to make a very rushed approach here in the final ticks of the round.
Yeah, and it really might give an opportunity here for Oliver to 1v4 clutch this for the team. I think actually Oliver might have all of the kills. No, they didn't get Tea Party.
No. Wait. They did.
Yeah, they did, because they got res and then they found the kills. So I think they may have all of the kills this round. The thing is, though, is I don't think they're ready, or even, I mean, clearly looking over onto the south side. Very much anticipating more to be coming in from the north. But it's going to be Leo and Cody just full sprinting down this street. And, well, maybe not full sprinting. 30 seconds left. They have to go.
Let's go.
Leo's going to go for the cap as Cody overwatches. But it's looking like
Oliver's
here.
blind. Leo can cap in the corner right now.
try
Oh,
for it.
so much time. They could be punching in the code. 15 seconds left. Now Leo tablets
Go for
out.
it.
Oliver is distracted by the suppressive fire.
Oh.
This is why you practice
6
capping.
seconds. Can he do it? Can he do it? 3,
Kill him,
2,
kill him, kill him.
1.
Wow.
Oh my god.
Gosh. 0. 0 on the clock.
It is exactly what we talked about happening right there, Sky. It is a panic in the moment and an inability to remember and then enter in a 7-digit code when the pressure is on. It, again, is why people practice it, so it's more muscle reflex than something that you have to then focus on when the time comes. That could have been map 1 into Astra's hands right now. The score could be 4-1 right now, but instead it's 3-1, and sure, it's still a successful round for Astra, so not all bad. But wow, I mean, like you said, Scott, they maybe had half a second left to find that kill, and they just think if they had stayed inside and had not pushed down the stairs, it could have been 2-2 right now.
Wow. And Leo, realizing he couldn't get in the code, just screams, kill him for Cody instead of hold fire. So a little extra bit of information for those that don't know, with the capping giving you 2 points, what a lot of teams will plan when they have a good kill count to not kill the last guy, to allow their capper to get that objective in for the 2 points instead of killing the guy and getting the 1. Well, as Leo realized he was not going to get that code in, desperately calling out, just get the kill. And man, 0 on the clock, kill they do.
Crazy.
Whew.
Astra up 3-1 here, and Vrak now going on the offensive. We change objective placements, albeit just slightly, as we shift up more to the center with the objective on the hill. This one's still also pretty tough to defend, but we'll have to see what Astra throw up there and where VRML spawn. It looks like they're going to get it over into the northeast, so there is an interesting route you can take with that northeast spawn where you can potentially be right up on the objective undetected. It's going to depend a lot on how Astra is set up on defense and if they are prepared to look for picks out on that defender. And oh my gosh, what's happening? Kebab ran into the fire barrel.
I mean, that's supposed to fame me.
Everybody spreading out onto Astra, and everyone getting into their angles so they can potentially catch out a crossing offense. Special Ops really getting out here looking for anything out in the center street, not finding much. The entire VRAC team is pushing up from this east side. Leo doesn't spot anything. Special Ops should be hearing footsteps. Leo dialed in here to the stairwell. If Emperor comes up, it could be bad news. Oh, but there's a nice kill. Charbonnier finds one up through the center. There goes Emperor as Leo finds that kill. A quick 1-for-1 ties it up 4-4.
Lots of action, fairly close to the objective here. A little early for VRAC's pattern that they had going.
A little bit more aggressive.
Slow down a bit.
Yeah.
I gotta wonder if they're feeling a little bit of the heat with the scoreline being 1-3. They know they have to take this round in order to stay in map 1.
Yeah. What I do like to see is this shift in pacing a little bit. Adjusting your pace can throw off your opponent significantly, and that they have been methodical throughout the course of this match. And so if suddenly VRAC is attacking early, it's very uncharacteristic for what they have been showing. We're going to stay on board Hardsey as a kill comes in from Tea Party on that side, because Hardsey is danger close to objective. If they find Dutch Kebab, it's going to force rotations from this defense. Cody Logan, I suppose, has an eye down there, but you're going to see a little bit of chaos come in from the Astra side. That's a good smoke.
Perfect smoke. Oh, beautiful. But Cody now has the line to stop Hardsey, and I don't think Hardsey is going to think to look back that way.
Oh.
As I say that, Cody finds the kill. 4v2 now. Going to be really tough for VRAC to make this approach to the objective. Astra have all the angles locked pretty tight.
Yeah, not where you want to be when the map depends on your success in this round. Still, though, 2v4 not insurmountable, and again, they are close to the objective. Just a matter of getting through this defense, and it's really getting through Dutch Kebab and Cody Logan, because Tea Party and Leo are more focused on denying entry from that north side, but they've already entered in. And you do see a little bit of shifting now from them as they don't find much. Both Leo and Tea Party start to direct their eyes over to this side of the map, over towards Oliver and Charbonnaire's direction. So no real easy routes opening up for them here.
Like Leo might be breaking off to go for a flank. No, he's just going to hold there. Down to just under 2.5 minutes.
Leo may go down if they peek here on the corner. No, they catch themselves a couple of bullets, but survive to tell another tale. They'll heal and drop off. Radio in where they spotted this, and now the exit for Charbonnaire becomes the real challenge, as Tea Party has a line from that 3-story, and you see them instantly dropping back off of pushing through that doorway, and seemingly the smart choice. But again, time ticks down. 1:50 left as nobody really gains any ground, or almost a pick there from Oliver as Kebab peeks out. Actually goes the other way as Dutch turns it into a 4v1. Charbonnaire, with the team on their back, has to try and pull this thing together and keep Vrak in. Their map pick on map 1. Go, boy.
Oh! Nice shot from Tea Party. Gonna finish off map 1 in Astra's hand. 4-1.
That's a tough pill to swallow if you're on the Vrak side, as you started off strong, managing to secure a lead, and then just not find success in the back half of those rounds throughout the rest of Abandoned. It was their map pick too, so we now go to Astra's map choice for map number 2, a place where they are most comfortable in. And I wonder if it's going to be maybe something like Quarantine with a little bit of range, Snow Peak, or if we go somewhere close quarters. There's a couple of options like Suburbia or Tanker or Subway, which is where map 2 is going to take us. But certainly a different approach, and likely a change in pace here for our second map of the day.
Definitely one of the better maps of Onward, in my opinion, and one of the harder maps to cast, as I tell a lot of the newer casters. It's a lot of tunnels, it's a lot of bouncing around to different points of the map that you can't just fly to. You have to be able to set up cams. Definitely one of the interesting maps to cast and also to play, as it requires a lot of rotating, a lot of teamwork, a lot of angle checking, because, man, those Volk can sit in so many corners.
T4 is a big element on an effective defense here as well, and I'm sure we'll see all of these come together for map number 2. We are... Oh, I wonder if this is the map we're going to. It does seem like we have a few tech difficulties here. So, if you can bear with us while we deal with some tech issues, we are going to reset this lobby. I think it's still going to be Subway, but we'll have to wait and see what the outcome will be. And if it is going to be Subway for map 2, yeah, it still is going to be Subway. I've got that confirmed now, so we're still right there. And I guess while we have this downtime, it's as good a time as any to remind everybody that the VRML has sponsors. With a $7,000 in cash and hardware prize pool now, the VRML wants to shout out all of the sponsors that help support VR esports. Those sponsors are ProTube VR, which offers fantastic mounts that help stabilize your aim in game. If you want to become an expert sniper, I highly recommend you go check out ProTube VR, or really just an expert shooter in general. They also have fantastic force feedback mounts, which allow you to feel the bullets and the recoil in real life. They're really cool products. I highly recommend, again, you go check out ProTube VR. VR Cover, offering fantastic face covers for any VR device. In addition to a few other products, VR Cover greatly enhances the comfort of any of your VR headsets. They are a must pick up whenever you get a new headset, so I definitely recommend you check out VR Cover. Obviously, HyperX coming in with the fantastic HyperX Quadcast S, which you can hear my fantastic baritone on. Does a great job of capturing all of the ranges of my voice, and I have had it for I think over a year and a half now, and I highly recommend this mic. I think we've sorted out all our tech issues. VRML also sponsors the league. We want to continue to help grow VR esports. So shout out to all of our sponsors. And I think we're ready to go for round number 2. But we may be in a timeout. I'm not 100% sure right now. Go ahead and give the teams a go ahead. On top of our sponsors, we also do appreciate all of you stopping in to hang out and watch the VRML action. VRML is a community-driven league run by the community for the community. If you want to become a caster or get involved in the VRML at any capacity, playing, modding, whatever, I highly recommend you do check out the website, vrml.com/onward, or whatever your respective league of preference is. You can sign up to be a reservist, where you can substitute for teams. You can also fill out the production team application if you want to be on the caster side, if you want to be a mod. We have a universal application for you to fill out, and I think the careers page is getting a revamp, so it should be easier to navigate to your preferred volunteer position. So again, check out the website if you want to get involved with the VRML. We are always looking for more folks to help us grow esports because it is constantly growing. I think we have nearly doubled in players from season 11 to 12, which is insane. It is a vertical uptick in people joining the league and joining VR in general. And now is certainly the time to get involved. So please do if you are interested or have been interested at all in what you've seen here this afternoon. You may also notice that we also do other leagues like Echo Arena, which also gets broadcast here on VR Master League on Twitch and on Horizon venues. Those times are 12 p.m. PST Saturday, 6 p.m. PST Sunday, whereas we, for Onward, are 6 p.m. PST Saturday and 12 p.m. PST Sunday. That is every weekend, so put it in your schedules if you are enjoying your time here to tune in to the VRML action whenever it goes live. You can also follow the Twitch channels, twitch.tv/onward_VRML, or any respective league, Echo Arena, Pavlov_VRML on Twitch, and watch your favorite VR esports live. We are in an official timeout, Sky, and so in the interest of saving us some voice power, we are going to go to a brief timeout. And when we come back, we will have map number 2 underway. So until then, a few words from our sponsors. Don't go anywhere.
Yes.
Easy going right there.
Look at him.
One more to go.
I'm crazy, Captain.
Yes.
Bro, what? I had to get rid of
Nah,
him.
he was
bro.
being toxic.
Every time he does this every day, man.
Why are you unbanning him? Just keep
I
unbanning
don't
him,
know,
Like,
bro. Man.
go. One more to go.
Welcome back, everybody. Thank you for patiently waiting for us to get into map number 2 of this series. We are still waiting to hop into our first round, but didn't want to keep you fine folks on delay any longer. We can certainly ham it up and talk about a few different things, I suppose, as we do wait for the 5th to join here from Vrag. And, you know, the trouble is if there is a tech problem, and it does take, you know, there are rules around these timeouts, we could see a 4v5 start, which is, again, the last thing you would want on a team like this. And I don't want to talk about it too much, but it is a potential possibility here, and that we will be starting round 1 in 2 or 3 minutes time, no matter what. It is going to begin. So we do appreciate the patience of you folk waiting as these teams time out. And, you know, we talked about it a bit offline, Sky. It's kind of interesting. I feel that, you know, although it is a technical timeout to sort an issue with one of the players having to restart and join the lobby, it also feels like a bit of a tactical timeout. You know what I mean? In that Rack really can use this time to strategize and sort of reset their mind for this next round, this next map that they don't get to pick into. They get to start on defense, which some consider to be an advantage, but I mean, what are your thoughts here going into our second map of the series?
Yeah, with the amount of momentum Astra had, especially with the score line,
Right.
1-4 in that last round, it's definitely a thought of, well, how can we put the brakes on them? How can we slow them down? And timeouts are definitely utilized that way in just about any sport. So as a strategy, it works sometimes.
Right.
It could also kind of bite you in the butt a little bit, cooling you down as well.
True.
Maybe giving them some time to breathe and then coming back just as strong. You know, it's definitely not
Yeah.
a for sure thing, but we've seen it work. We've seen it done. I've seen it done in bowling.
Yep.
I've seen it done
Oh, I mean,
everywhere.
football, you know, any sport,
Yep.
timeouts used tactically.
Literally any sport.
Yeah.
Just my personal experience.
Sure, absolutely. Bunch of people, you know, it's. We've delayed long enough, Sky. There's no more timeout. It seems like round 1 is underway here. Our first objective of Subway going to be North Stairwell, a volatile objective
Ooh.
where you see action oftentimes within the first minute, and so we are in store for a big change in pace as we have had much longer rounds on Abandoned, and I anticipate a little bit faster action here as we get into that first round of map 2.
We have the usual rush to control upstairs, north alleyway. Usual C4 over on 2. Not a usual spot, but definitely in a common little funnel for it.
Yep.
But the Astra team opted not to push that alleyway. They are focused on the south approach. Gotta wonder if they're going to maintain that approach or if they're eventually going to rotate back.
It seems like it is a heavy focus on taking control of this south entry point and then pushing in. The trouble is with the south is that it's hard to contest some of these defensive positions with both Hardsey and Le Charbonnet deep in the dark on these lanes. They really have just fantastic camouflage. I mean, you take away the lasers and the overhead, and they're hard to identify enough for us, let alone in VR, when you also have a limited field of view. I mean, it is a completely different story for these players pushing in. Now, there is, of course, a counter to this defensive position, and all it takes is 1 point into your utility as you can smoke and deny vision from that entire train tunnel with, I think, 1 well-placed smoke, 2 to be safe.
Very interesting that they have 2 defenders watching this cross from the same side. Usually you'll see the crossing angle, one on the other side of the tracks. But that is weak to what Tea Party was doing and peeking it from the horseshoe.
Ooh.
But with a great shoulder
Whoa.
peek, finds B-Rack all the way
Got one
back
dot
in
from-
there. A great shot.
One dark club.
Now
And
Hardsy's
they've
getting
already
pinched.
called out Hardsey.
Yeah, Hardsey felt forced to push out because they knew the flank was coming. 5 alive on the push to the south. What does the defense do? They're still staying disciplined in their positions, guarding the objective placement. They're waiting for audio cues to then try and swing and likely dump utility. Astra is 5 alive, getting ready to push in from this south side. Uncontested, free and easy, no utility needed. They're going to have it all to push up to that objective.
Get code in head.
It's going to be really tough for VRAC. Any peek that they make here is going to get punished.
There comes the utility.
Utility comes out smoke, and that is a cappable smoke. They are going to rush in there. Here comes tablets out, 2 of them going for the cap. They find 1, find 2. Both caps denied. As we are now into a 3v3 as T gets confirmed. The cap attempt shut down.
There's still an opportunity here. Dutch Kebab can push into that corner. Leo's going for it now. Tucks in, tablet out.
Now the cap attempt. Emperor going for shots into smoke. Not going to find Leo just yet. Leo, again, failing the cap. Manages to take down Oliver. Emperor shuts him down and then trades with Cody.
Why did that take so long?
I think Astra are finding out what they need to practice on here today. Because although they are playing well, they have clearly shown that they could use a little bit extra work on punching in that code. Now, this is, of course, us saying this, and I mean, it's a completely different sensation when you're in game. I mean, Sky, you know, it's been a while for me, but when you're on that objective in a league match under the guise of smoke with bullets flying around you and the pressure is on, you're in virtual reality, you're really there, the heart's racing, the hand starts to shake. It truly does tremble as you try and punch in the code, and you can actually miss numbers because your hand shakes so much. Some players stabilize their hand by tucking their arm up against their side and punching in the code with their whole torso so that they don't miss the buttons. There's crazy techniques that you can put into effect to punch in the code successfully when the time comes, but it takes practice.
Practice is key, and now, thanks to our custom map makers, there's an entire map specifically for cat practice.
That's right. We had talked about that at one point in time. There, yeah. How does it work? Explain the custom map to us here, Sky.
It's literally just you spawn in as Volk next to the objective, and your goal is to type in the disable code, which is something we haven't really touched too much on, but it's the same code. Volk get a tablet with the same code as Marsog, and they are able to disable the uplink if they are around it, and they sacrifice a point. It gives a point to the enemy team, but it prevents the enemy team from capping themselves and getting 2 points instead.
Never seen in league play on my end. I've not casted a match and seen a disable code enter, and I have cast hundreds of matches, and so we don't talk about it ever because it's never happened. But it is something that's in the game, and it's the same concept, right? You're practicing entering in a code. Special Ops dodges a grenade blasting over their head just a few meters away, and seemingly flashes the entirety of RAC, putting a quick pause on what was going to be an aggressive rollout here for round 2. Go ahead and light up the dark alleyway that RAC is pushing through. Give you guys a bit better visual on what, well, we're seeing at least. Certainly still just as dark for them, and so Special Ops can utilize that to blend in. Oh, that flash. Thankfully just a flash, as it was a bad toss and could have been Hard Dizzy's demise.
Spec Ops has a clacker in his hand. Oh, the C4 right on that wall. Disabled. Oh, but Spec Ops gets kill anyways during the call out, and then goes too aggressively around the corner and gets shut down. A 1-to-1 trade bringing this to a 4v4. VRAC essentially have the alleyway in control, but they don't realize it.
Going to come down to pushing down those stairs and pushing in from the south. We're seeing again the double stack here, Sky. Again, an interesting, maybe like a kind of like it's an off meta choice, right? You're trying to almost throw and distract them by having two on this side. Like you feel once you've confirmed one that it's going to be good, and then suddenly there's another there holding from that side. I don't know, but the same setup there in the south, just obviously a different approach. Only one pushing in from the south for VRAC. The rest of the team going to be challenging in down this stairwell. You can see they do have Charbonnaire way back there. They are defending a potential flank. Sometimes you'll see the defense get aggressive, and once they know that there's a push coming in from the north, they'll try and flank the push. Ooh, that nade does not go far enough. That almost goes too short. Trying to precisely throw it down the stairs. You throw it too hard, you throw it up against the wall, it just bounces down, unsuccessful on your throw there, and so it is a precise thing, and you see it done so well at a high level that it just goes unnoticed. All the nades getting down into that tunnel, but it is a hard task. That's a decent smoke that should deny Kebab some vision and open up a slight angle for Emperor over the top of it.
Ooh. Shots on the T do connect, but only injure him, and T decides, I'm not going to repeat that. Probably a good idea. Now, Kebab has only called out that there are two up here above the stairs, so that could be a little bit of misinformation that could help VRAC out just a little bit.
A lot of strategizing going on up here from VRAC. Trying to figure out what their plan of approach is going to look like. It seems to be a double prone. One covers one corner, the other corner, and they'll slowly suppress their way up.
During all this, Oliver should be making a lot more headway on his approach in the south, but he's playing it very slow. He's desynced from the rest of the attack.
Tea Party fully suppressed in the corner. Emperor working up. This is looking kind of nice for VRAC as they gain control of the north side. It's going to come down to how Kebab exits out here, and they do not. They die out. There's the C4 detonation. Oh, what a big C4 it is. Gets to Tea Party. That's why they were waiting. And, well, I wonder if Oliver is going to continue pushing in from the south, because we do see shots coming in now, and it's a matter of syncing the duo up here into a 2v3.
Captain was not in a great position to support that assault, just waiting for a flank instead. And now we're under 60 seconds left in the round.
I think Cap looking for some utility there. A little extra nade or so off of their downed teammate. I don't know if they found what they were looking for, but push going to have to come in soon enough. And, you know, simply because there's only 30 seconds left, both of them are going to have to charge objective, and so it might actually be a relatively synced up push thanks to the clock putting them together. Oh, but there it is. Tea Party flies out. Down goes Captain. It's all up to Oliver here, who has to deal with two and only has 15 seconds left. Time and element. And Astra just has to tuck in now. They'll get the kill with 5 seconds left. A 2-0 lead on map 2 for Astra.
But a couple of rounds to kick off map number 2, Subway in the close quarters.
Yep.
A stark difference to what we saw in Abandon previously.
Still down to the final few seconds, though. But yeah, action's a bit more spread out, it feels like, and yeah, it happens like more throughout the course of the entire map instead of just at these peak moments. And so An exciting bit of rounds 1 and 2 there to kick us off. We do change objective placement now. We go over to the market. This should be an exciting next few rounds. Astra go on the attack, Vrak back on the defense. And it has been, I think, now 6 unanswered points for Astra. Vrak have not managed to find the final few kills and get themselves back on the board since they did at the start of map number 1. And that's tough. It is, in a game like Onward, or really any game, it's a lot about momentum and how you're feeling as a player, whether you're tilting, as the common term, and sort of spiraling out of control, missing shots, not communicating, not finding the positions that you need to. You know, there's all kinds of different things that can come out of mentally losing focus on trying to get that W, and obviously it's easier when you're shooting well and playing good. Vrak have not had anybody find kills other than Emperor, who's 5 and 2. Everybody else has not found a kill. And Sky, that's kind of a dangerous indicator to me that the momentum is really in the favor of Astra. When the teams don't have kills and are also losing, it's you gotta try and change something up.
Yeah, it's definitely a question of what can we do differently that would pull the odds more into our favor. Obviously, this is a map pick from the enemy team, so this is a map that they are comfortable on.
Yeah.
So how do we counter their comfort zone?
Yep.
It's a home game.
Pretty much. That is the sentiment that they have to go in it to, and it can be challenging. I think a great way is to throw a different pace at them. Try and challenge earlier than they have. But that, of course, takes practice. You know, to be effective at playing a quick, aggressive push really takes a lot of practice. And who knows how much or what they've practiced in their in terms of strategies. It looks like Astra going to be breaking off into a mostly south push. They've got 2 going into the basement, 2 going up from the stairs, and 1 sitting back watching for potential flank down from the north stairwell. Tea Party and Dutch are going to work their way up top. Will it be synced up with the duo who's already here is the question. Special Ops and Leo at the stairwell, ready to push Emperor and Cap, and they do swing wide to find some success. A nice refrag from Captain does tie things up 4-4. The rest of Astra have still not pushed down the street, as Tea Party now is starting to work their way down the street, potentially challenging Captain there, but actually now drops back, and it's just going to be Leo, who also doesn't seemingly want to challenge Captain just yet. We'll see what the timing looks like for Astra here as the rest of the team works their way over towards Oliver's angle.
D4 finds Kebab, only down. Tim T gets the revive, and the 3-man push coming in heavy in the west. Definitely gonna look for Oliver here in the corner.
Ooh, T finds one.
Crosses that sight line, but only down. Cody gets the refrag. Now Hardzy has to hard crash back to defend this. Spraying to the smoke to deny any potential cap. Finds Cody.
Barely guesswork from them.
Into a 2v3. Captain trying to deal with Leo T. Now going for the cap. Hardzy doesn't go out far enough, and finally, it's the cap they've been trying to get, bringing it 4-0. Map number 2, the series going to Astra. Wow.
Something that I think Vrak can also sort of take away from this is that they do need to be a bit more concerned about the threat of, you know, smokes on objective and how much you have to suppress into those smokes if you have no control of it. a lot of teams, that was at least what I've started to see more of, is a lot of utility ends up getting dumped into a smoke, right? And so when you see a smoke on objective, a simple flash can do a lot of damage. It can blind anybody that's even over the objective space, whether they're in the smoke or not, and prevent them from punching in the code. It's a key you have to be able to see to enter in the code. I think I've seen one time a code get entered blind, which goes to show you how insane people practice punching in the code, that they just know the distance of numbers on the tablet that they're holding in their hand. But it is a great deterrent, and in almost every situation that they found themselves in, a flash would have done great. It would have denied any sort of effort on the cap, and I suppose they didn't need it for the many attempts that didn't come through successfully. No shade meant to be thrown, but it could have been a deterrent there to prevent that second map from going the way of Astra. Now we go to our map number 3, which does go back to the range. And so I think we were right overall on our predictions at the start of the stream here, Sky. Clearly, Brack looking to go with the longer range maps, Abandon and Snowpeak as their picks, banning out Cargo, and Astra banning Downfall and then going to Subway. Very clear. If you're really paying attention and you're playing on Vrac, to me, it's an indicator that this team really wants to cap. They are very interested in capping the objective because they tried it several times on Abandon of all maps, and then they also, got it there on Subway because it's close quarters. They have the smoke plays in effect. They almost had 2 caps on Subway. I mean, it's, all information that you can take away if you really deep dive and analyze the team you're playing and how they're playing against you, and there's just so much strategy that can go into the game of Onward. That's not to say that all the players do put in that much thought to it. I know some people just like to shoot gun, and that's perfectly fine.
It go pew pew.
Yeah, exactly. They're all about the KDs, and hey, sometimes that also works out pretty well too. So I'm not knocking either strategy. I'm just saying there's a lot that can go in to the wonderful world of VR esports and the game of Onward. Looking at the rosters for Map 3, no subs coming in. Haven't talked about that at all, Sky, but there is a potential of 8 players on a roster. That means that you can only play 5 people in a map, and so sometimes teams have players that excel on certain maps. They'll bring them in for certain maps, and we're not seeing any of that here this afternoon as we get into map number 3. No subs from either team. Round 1 kicking off. Unfortunately for Brack, not on a long-range objective. Instead, one of the close quarters objectives that you can get on Snowpeak.
The quick spawn of this objective coming out from Marsoc. We'll see just how VRAC opt to utilize this quick insertion here, though, as we're only 30 seconds in, and they can essentially storm the objective if they wanted to.
Yep. Cody's in a dangerous spot. This is oftentimes a fragged corner, and it's not that hard to get the grenade in here. You just got to throw it against the wall of the building, and it drops right down on the back of Cody, but no utility comes out, and Cody finds a nice peek up over the top. Kick off things for Astra.
Now we're going to see Emperor checking for Kebab here. Kebab not looking out of the box. Oh, Cody goes for an aggressive swing, but a refrag comes out. Tea Party finding that from the side. Dutch Kebab finding Heartsea, making an aggressive push into there. Emperor getting a refrag and into a 2v3 very quickly. Tea Party getting aggressive, finds Captain. Now up to the lone surviving hacker. Looking for Spec Ops, doesn't find him. Now swinging on T, gets shot in the back. Oh, but exposes himself trying to throw a flashbang.
That could have worked if they had,
Just like that.
yeah, if they had stayed tucked in and thrown the flash onto that corner. They actually might have had 2 and a swung for the double. That could have been a sick play, but just a touch off on trying to retreat and flash, and ultimately Astra out-aggress Vrak here. And it's our first quick round, Sky, with 4.5 minutes left on the clock. Astra take another point, and that is now 9 unanswered points for Astra.
Wow.
Yeah. A solid job, really, coming in from Astra here. And Vrak they're battling. They are putting in their best effort. They are putting out plays. They're trying to surround the objective and pinch it from both sides. It's just getting shut down by a few different positions from Astra that they're throwing out there that are really paying off and being successful. Curious to see what the defense looks like here for Vrak and the attack, because this objective is hard to cap on, Sky. This one, I mean, you really have to cause a heavy amount of chaos to be able to get into the middle of this cube and punch in the code. I've seen it happen, but
A tough one. There's just so much debris to try and get around, plus that can be used as cover for the defending team.
Yep.
It's a lot. But as we mentioned with flashbangs earlier, a couple really well-placed flashbangs thrown upward towards the roof can shut down a lot of positions.
Oh, that's late.
Sorry,
Are we coming out the fucking daycare?
Is he?
Astra get a different spawn.
Let me catch up with you guys.
As we mentioned before, Marsoc can spawn in several different locations for each objective. And they have, this time, spawned over in that southeast. And so they'll be working up through the tunnel with the majority of their forces, sending maybe 1 or 2, as you can see, special ops rotating around there to hit from the other side. And it's all a matter of timing. Pushing this objective is very much a matter of being coordinated and in sync with the entire team. You do not want to enter into a hallway before the rest of your team does. Otherwise, you're just going to be going into the defense one at a time, essentially down a tunnel. You're really literally funneling yourself into failure, if you will. So we'll have to see if Astra can stay in sync, rather, and make sure that they all hit these hallways at the same time. Because there's one. Carbonaire denies entry.
Theo with the quick shoulder peek manages to avoid the shot. Oh, but a great C4 gonna shut down T from another angle.
Now you hear T calling out for the res, but that is actually oftentimes bait. Players will pretend they're dead and say, oh, I need a res. And then once the person swings to find that kill, they go down. The rest of the team pushing in. Dutch Kebab's inside, but they get quickly scooped up by Emperor, and Astra not quite hitting these hallways all at the same time and going in one by one to their deaths as Vrak look to hold on to this defensive round and tie it up one apiece with their first point in 10 rounds.
That seems to be the biggest point of failure for both of these teams, is the timing in the execution of their attack.
This one, kilo
Theo
2.
finds one. Cody
Maybe.
getting ready to breach. Flashbang goes out. Free fire around the corners. Not going to find anybody. Now looking for Captain, who's flashed. Finds one.
inside.
Bringing this down to a 2v2. That smoke is close enough to objective.
This is bad. Astra's got
Good
the
go
smoke
for it.
out. Oh, we're seeing it again.
Oh, nobody's checking it.
Another smoke cap coming in here from Astra. Can Cody get the dang code in? Is the question.
Hardy
There it
wounds him,
is.
but doesn't get the kill. Hardy wounded Logan through the smoke. Wow. Just not One bullet too little.
So unfortunate there, as that was certainly looking like Vrak being back onto the board. They had that
They
round.
had that.
Oh man, and they just
did.
you know, it is a true challenge on defense when a team does push in for you all to trust and stay in your positions and know where everyone is. And sometimes trusting your team works well. You know, oh, I know this guy's got that angle, I know this. But if you're not aware that you've lost people and you're not really tapped in to the entirety of everything that's going on the map, you can so quickly lose control. And I think Vrax thought they had everything locked down, even with the smoke on objective, but then realizing too late that they had lost their 2 defenders on that side, and they tried to prevent the cap, but couldn't quite connect with those shots.
It just goes to show that even if you have the numbers, you have the advantage, you have things locked down, one slight change can make all the difference in every round.
Ooh. Yeah, surprised that ends up. I truly am surprised that ended up working out for Astra. They were really just going in one at a time into each sort of entry point and going down, but the 2 managed to make it happen. And really, well, I guess just the one, as all it takes is one person to break through the line and punch in that code. We now go to our next objective. Out in the open, Vrak get their chance at a bit more range here as we go back to it for round number 3 of map 3.
Curious to see what kind of defense Astra put up here with a 3-0 lead and the series in their hands. Do they continue to be safer and more tucked in, or do they try some funny things out?
And that's something we haven't talked about much, and I guess it's a little late, but we always play the third map out in the VRML. All the rounds won matter. They help determine how much you go up or down in rank. And so if you manage to secure a bunch of rounds and prevent your opponent from getting any, then yes, you do manage to go up a decent bit more in rank. And so every round matters, even if you've lost the series. It's why we're still here in our third map, and it's why Astra are 1 round away from locking in a big W against VRAC. And there's the first kill. Dutch Kebab kicks it off.
I know, there's
Pretty
another
sure I
one
just
there.
watched Special Ops and Cody playing hot potato with knives and pistols. So they're definitely in the high spirits. Having a good old time playing some good old VR esports.
That's the real core of it, right? I mean, I'm sure Vrac are having a tough one with this series, but they have actually been in it here for map 3. When you look at the KDs, like I mentioned earlier, a team losing and finding no kills is suffering a tough loss. A team losing and finding kills has been staying in it. And you're seeing here, at least almost everyone has come alive for Vrac in this series, or in this final map. And it has been a much closer map 2, or map 3 here.
Great flash hiding behind those Hasco boxes. Unfortunately, none have taken that position. The pre-fire coming in from Captain. Quite finding anybody. Captain is definitely VRAC's long-range flank and lurker. Always kind of alone off to the side.
Yeah. It's good to have sort of an Overwatch element, you know, on the attack, but they don't really have a ton of vision onto this entire defense. This is an interesting bit of route that Hardzy has managed to take. Dutch Kebab, are they going to see them here? Yes, they are.
shit, he was next to me.
Just manages to peek out and find him.
Thank you.
Unfortunate that he pushed out without a supporting angle. Nobody to refrag Kebab or even to really know where he's at.
I think someone told Kebab to check the angle because I heard him on the radio call out "thank you." So teamwork makes the dream work, as they say.
Yep, -1.
Oh, and there goes Cap from the distance.
Kilo
It's up to the
count,
duo up through the center.
Okay, good shit.
Oliver and Le Charbonnet.
Ooh, a key pickup to neutralize Kebab there. Coming down to the 2-minute mark. 2v4. What was looking like a perfect defense. And now 2 have gone down. Getting a little peaky on their positions.
A little too anxious to lock in this final round and take it 4-0, and that could end up hurting them and allowing Vrak to get a point on the board here. Their first in what has been now 11 rounds.
Bill Shaw think to peek on Cody's position. I just completely override it. It's back and forth.
Just trying to gain ground. 1:20 left. Time going to become a factor here. And Astra can play off that. What was that?
Char has some smoke. I'm just wondering if there's a line to the objective for him. 60 seconds left. He's going to have to find Leo on these shots, which he does.
Nice.
All right. The duo making it happen. Smoke coming out. They're going to have to smoke out Special Ops line here, though. That smoke just a little too long. 45 on the clock. Oliver rushes out, gets shot. But Shaw now has that information to go off of.
Can't catch Cody on that cross in the gap there.
Going around.
Not a lot of
Doesn't
time.
have time to slow down. He needs to go, needs to go. Coming around, gonna find Spec up from the back. Now down to just Cody, 20 on the clock.
Smokes are out. Vrak. Le Charbonnet is charging in.
Cody's just gonna hide. No, he's not. He's gonna peek out, but finds the kill. Astra taking map number 3. Ill to 4. Wow.
Much closer there, Sky, on that final map. And, Vrak starting to come alive a little bit there on the back half of the series, but just not quite enough when it really mattered to lock in the rounds. And at the end of the day, Astra take a big W out from this one. They go 12-1, and hats off to them. They certainly played it well. They had good smoke plays on objectives. I mean, really, you think about it, while Vrak didn't, those are hard to defend, Sky. When those smokes are placed perfectly on objectives like they had been, I mean, they really did attack the objectives well, and ultimately that becomes a challenge when you're on defense. And just a good series from Astra here this afternoon to get themselves a good W.
Yeah, what a great series to come out on. And even though the score line doesn't quite represent it, each of those rounds was a fight.
Yeah.
A hard fought fight.
Yeah.
And some of them coming down at just like this one, to the wire.
Yeah. I mean, we had a lot of rounds down into the 15-second mark, down into the last few minutes. I mean, it was a lot of nail biters. And so Vrak certainly have a lot to take away from this as well. And, you can come back, look at the footage, try and learn from the experience. And I look forward to seeing what they do in the future, as we only have a few weeks left here, but also in future seasons as well. So fun to tune into, but that's going to be it for us here this afternoon. A quick shout out again to our sponsors in case you forgot. ProTube VR, VR Cover, HyperX, and VRML coming in to sponsor this season of the Onward VRML. So shout out to them. Also, a quick shout out to everyone who's tuning in, whether you're on Twitch, Facebook, YouTube, or Horizon venues. We appreciate your support. Be sure to stop by next weekend, 6 p.m. PST Saturday, 12 p.m. PST Sunday, for more Onward gameplay. Yeah, it is still, we're still going next weekend. And until next time, stay classy.